Hey there, Yellow Jackets. Welcome back to the Sting Report, your weekly podcast keeping you in the loop about our buzzing high school life here in sunny Southern California. I'm your host, Assistant Principal, Ms. Honreader, your friendly neighborhood hive mate. This week, we have flag football, golf, volleyball, final exams, terrible fashion advice, secret sauce about test taking, and a cautionary tale about script writing while hungry. But before we get too carried away, let me introduce the mastermind of our hive, our principal, Dr. Lawrence. Good of you to be here again this week, Dr. T. Law.
Hey, Yellow Jacket Nation. Very, very excited and happy to be here on the Sting Report, as always.
So let's start with our first question every week. I got to ask you, what are you most proud of? What happened last week that you thought was just awesome?
Well, when you run this school, that question's always hard because there's so many great things that happen every week. But we engaged in homecoming week this week, even though the dance and the game are next week. This was homecoming week. So our students were dressed according to themes every day. They were running around campus, lunchtime activities. So just being part of the homecoming spirit, that was awesome in and of itself. So I enjoyed all of the great things our kids did and the joy that's associated with homecoming week. But on a more specific note, we know that we have that very friendly Battle for Gonzales Road rivalry with the school down the street, PHS. So on Tuesday night, I was able to get out to Pacifica High School and watch our girls flag football team win by a score of 40-6.
Oh, awesome.
While our volleyball team, our girls volleyball team, was here at the Hive defeating Pacifica in volleyball. So we were 2-0 that night in the Battle for Gonzales Road. So that is always a great week. And then
let me jump in really quickly because I was at that game and it was super fun. Got to run into the sister of one of my former colleagues at a volleyball game. Her daughter plays, and it's always just, I don't know, kind of fun to see the kids out there, to see their families out there. I just love that. It's great.
Absolutely, it is fun. And obviously academics are what we stress, but when we see our kids outside of the classroom setting and they see us supporting them, it is a very, very feel-good moment that makes this the best job in the world.
It really is. And what are you most looking forward to this coming week?
Well, I'm not going to play by the rules here, Ms. Honreader, because I have to give a shout out. Still thinking about last week, I got to give a shout out. We filled up about 4 tables at Del Sol High School.
Oh, yeah.
When we went to the Educational Partners LCAP kickoff meeting, I had put out our request to Yellow Jacket Nation to come out and support me. We had students, parents, guardians. We were by far the most well-represented school there, and that just touched my heart. And Gabriel Wan, if you're listening, your contributions were amazing. Thank you, Mr. Wan.
Yes, and thank you to our students who were there as well, and Miss Estrada and Miss Caval. It was quite the turnout. Definitely better than our other schools.
And of course, I know you're going to cut me off again, Miss Honreader, but
I'll try not to.
The homecoming rally was amazing. That is just one of the things that brings excitement, energy. Homecoming rally, Miss Cordes and her ASB crew, they do a really, really wonderful job every day. But when we see it on display or full display in a rally, it fills the heart.
Oh, it does. That is so great. All right. So now are you ready? What are you looking forward to this week?
Well, I'm very excited for our students because, we like to compete and we think of competing in the athletic arena or in performing arts, but they get to compete in the classroom this coming week.
Right.
We go on the quarter system here. It's fast paced. It moves rapidly. So even though it feels like we just started because time flies when you're having fun, they get to show up on Thursday and Friday and attack this like they would an athletic competition. They get to go into their classrooms, periods 1 and 2 on Thursday, periods 3 on 4 on Friday, and compete because they are going to earn grades that stay with them on their transcripts forever. So I'm very, very excited for our Yellow Jackets. Like I said, we talk about the Battle for Gonzales Road, watching them compete in volleyball and girls flag football. I love watching them compete in the classroom. So I'm excited for them. I know they're going to rise to the challenge and they're going to be legendary.
Yeah, and just for our parents and students who are new to the quarter system, even though the school year is only 1/4 of the year through, the students are halfway done with their quarter 1 and 2 classes. And so these are the final exams. These are the grades that will go on their permanent transcripts. So it's really important. That's why we have the minimum day schedule. And then Monday, we have a teacher-led PD the following week, right? So these grades count, and it's really important for the students to get ready for those tests. So
that's actually a great point, Ms. Honreader, to break down the difference between the quarter system and the traditional semester system. These are not midterms. These are final exams like a school on a traditional schedule would take in December. So these are going to produce the grades that stay on their transcript forever and ever.
Right. And before the podcast, Dr. Lawrence and I were talking a little bit about different types of students that we have. And we were talking about maybe some advice that we would give to the students as they head into these finals, maybe for the first time if they're freshmen. So what advice do you have for our kids as they're getting ready?
Well, looking at my own experience, I was always a very, very good student, and people thought that academics came easily to me, but they did not. When I had final exams, I would put hours and hours into them, reviewing my notes, reflecting, studying, because sometimes students say, hey, there's no homework tonight. I only have a big final tomorrow, so I have nothing to do. I was quite the opposite. If I had no homework, but I had a big final the next day, I was working harder than a night of actual homework. So I would encourage our students to study, reflect, go through their notes, make flashcards, all those things. And you can tell that our radios blow up sometimes here when we're doing a podcast because we're still running the school.
And we're going to leave those in because we think these errors are funny because we are not professional podcasters. But to get back to what you were talking about, I do have in my notes for today that I was going to tell Dr. Lawrence he has such a good memory that I had always assumed that he was very adept at taking tests, that he could just breeze in. He had memorized everything. He would do a great job. To find out that that's not the case is kind of interesting. I do feel that students all can benefit from paying attention, from rereading notes. My advice to my own daughter, from my advice from my mother and from her mother, is to take a look at your notes and maybe even retype those notes into a Google Doc. Just the act of rereading and rewriting some of those things can really help. So that would be my advice. But this is advice from old people. So that's what we say. Study hard, be prepared, and then get a good night's sleep before those finals. All right, my buzzing friends, let's dive into what's happening this week.
Well, this coming week, other than those final exams, we do have a late start collaboration schedule on Wednesday that will allow our teachers to engage in a faculty meeting. And then a group I wanted to give a special shout out to, if we do need a break from that studying we just talked about, on Thursday, October 9th, one of the most spirited groups on our campus is our girls volleyball program. They go around at lunch, invite people to their games, pass out candy. They're just a wonderful group of young human beings. So on Thursday, October 9th, they're going to have their senior night. So we're going to say goodbye to our beloved class of 2026 senior volleyball jackets. So if people could come out to that, that would be amazing. Yeah, they're a very, very lovable group of kids. And then, of course, Friday night, we're going to have our homecoming game against Oak Park High School. And we hope to see all of our alumni and everybody from the educational community come out for that. And then, of course, Saturday, it wouldn't be homecoming without the most look forward to and eagerly anticipated homecoming dance here at the Hive.
And that all fun things to look forward to. Do you have any particular interest in this football game on Friday night?
I do, actually. As somebody who grew up watching Ventura County sports and being a huge football fan, and somebody who played Division I football in college, I love watching our young men compete. I love all of our sports teams. I have seen them all 3 or 4 or 5 times the whole fall season. But I am interested to see what the Oak Park Eagles from East Ventura County bring to the table, and I want to see how our Yellow Jackets rise up to that challenge.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Lawrence, for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you. And everybody in Yellow Jacket Nation, remember, be legendary.
So first things first, homecoming is blossoming all over campus like sunflowers in July. You're going to see flowers popping up. You're going to see a lot of homecoming spirit. It's the kind of vibe that sticks to you like nacho cheese on just the top chips because there's never enough cheese on the bottom. Just never enough. I don't know why. They need to put that cheese on in layers. So let's see. This Friday, our football team faces off against Oak Park in what's going to be a really, really, really tough game. We're really hoping for a victory. The student section, aka the Swarm, is where the real magic happens. If you haven't joined the student group, it's like missing that last slice of pizza. Just don't do it. Just dive in. Bring your loudest cheers, your wildest signs, and your best dance moves between the plays. Also, throwing the homecoming dance in the big gym on Saturday. So whether you're a dance floor superstar or just there for the chance to awkwardly kind of shimmy up to your crush, it's going to be fun and it's going to be memorable. In sports news, this week is packed tighter than, well, something that's packed really tight. I don't know, like an overstuffed suitcase, or maybe something less literal than that. Maybe like your brain before you talk to someone you really like. Flag football is lining up against Ventura High. Quick side note before I forget, girls golf is out there conquering the greens this week. And I don't mean the kind of greens you toss into a salad, all crunchy and leafy. These are greens that you tiptoe on, like you're walking on a giant's perfectly ironed carpet. So golfers, may your putts be smoother than the dressing on your favorite Caesar salad. Over at the pool, our boys water polo is making waves, and on the court, the girls volleyball team takes on Ventura. Time to spike those balls like they owe you money. Heads up for the Busy Bees and the Hive. Wednesday is a collaboration day, which is the perfect time to study for finals. Yes, as previously mentioned, quarter one finals on Thursday and Friday with a minimum day schedule on both of those days. It's a little more time to get your test hustle on and maybe a little less time to binge TikTok. So here's the game plan. Show up on time, listen like your brain is a sponge soaking up knowledge, and follow directions like a GPS that never loses signal. And no cheating. I mean, trying to sneak a peek is super awkward and unnecessary. So here's the secret sauce. Answer every single question, even if you're guessing, because there's no penalty for wrong answers. So you shouldn't leave any points on the table. And also, why do all of my examples today seem to involve food? I should never write a script while hungry. Anyway, go out there, do your best, show those finals who's boss. You've got this, Jackets. And now for my favorite part, the shout out. This week, we're buzzing about Sean Lopez, one of our all-star Yellow Jackets. Sean's kindness and school spirit are stickier than honey on a hot day, always lifting others up and reminding us what it means to be impactful. Sean, you're basically the human version of a double shot espresso, energizing, uplifting, and impossible to ignore. Keep being legendary, my friend. And now for your green tip of the week, because being a Yellow Jacket means looking out for the planet while you're looking your best. So here's a little tip. Instead of stressing over a brand new homecoming dress, why not raid your mom's closet for her old prom dress if it fits you? It's like finding hidden treasure. Plus, you get to rock a one-of-a-kind vintage vibe that's way cool. Bonus points, you're saving money and saving the planet by giving that dress a second whirl on the dance floor. Sadly, my mom's prom dress didn't fit me. The good news is it had weird pointy chest cones sewn in that looked a bit like something Madonna would have worn, but in bright yellow with a matching purse and shoes. The shoes were too small. Even the purse was too small. I don't know what they were thinking back then. My own homecoming dress was also channeling the Madonna era with a lacy bustier with the fingerless gloves. But fortunately for my daughter, my dress didn't fit her either. Actually, this is all terrible advice. Don't raid your mom's closet for a prom dress, maybe, but do consider thrifting with friends or shopping each other's closets. I'm sure your friends have better taste than either my mom or me. All right, Yellow Jackets, that's a wrap for episode 7 of the Sting Report. Remember, get involved, stay resilient, like the toughest bee in the hive, and above all, be legendary. I'm Miss Honreader, signing off with a big buzzing Go Jackets. Be good to each other. I think I better get a snack.